We are back as promised with a special guest. Actually, briefly, you were my partner.
Yes.
My partner?
What do you mean by partner?
We rode together.
Okay, I was curious. I was just curious.
I love this guy.
Hey, it is what it is. But
Retired Detective Timmy Lachenicht, 26 years on the job.
Yes.
Went out in 2007 after a bad injury.
Correct.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit on the show.
Yeah, and real quick, that's one of the reasons we want to have Timmy on. You know, we had Travis Brown in the news lately, and I believe he's doing better. They've sent him to Atlanta for more treatment, and one of the reasons we want to have Timmy on, not because he's our friend and we're going to have fun too, but we're also going to talk about a tragic incident that Timmy battled his way through, where the circumstances were similar, not as bad as Travis's, but they were bad. And we'll get into that story, but and again, we're going to have fun because, as you guys heard, that Timmy rode with myself and he rode with Danny and came up in Mobile, which has been a lot of talk in this show. So, and Timmy, just tell us when. So you started when? What year did you start?
1983.
And then you started in the 5th District, and then you went to Mobile, correct?
Correct.
And tell us when Mobile got back in. That was you were one of the first. I think there was a hiatus in Mobile, wasn't there?
Yes, there's quite a long hiatus. But then Chief Sheets picked it back up,
Smart
and
guy.
there were 6 officers that started it. And,
Who were the bosses when they started it back up?
Joe Richardson was it.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe Richardson's the Mobile legend. You know, he, like you said, he started that. And who was your first partner?
Rick Will.
Rick Will. And then, so we'll just go ahead and get into the incident now, and then we're going to have some fun afterwards. But tell everybody about the incident that we're going to talk about, and how it happened and how that went down.
Well, it was April Fool's Day, 1987. We were assigned to the 3rd District. And what Mobile does, they just go up there in high crime areas and try to get guns and drugs and stolen cars.
they're
off the
aware.
street.
Oh, yeah. We know what Mobile does.
perfectly
JJ
aware.
tells us every week.
He reminds us how great Mobile
Even
is
Judge
every
Stelzer
week.
knows
That's right,
that.
JJ.
Yeah, Judge Stelzer's had a few Mobile cases in his courtroom before.
Well, I'm sure he has.
We all know they're the greatest policemen that ever walked the earth, Mobile
Well,
Reserve.
yeah, I'm not saying that, but go ahead.
I will.
Okay, so go ahead. 1987.
We were going down Shoto when a car just flew out of the projects. I mean, flew. It didn't even look where it was going. Made a U-turn, made a right turn, then made a left turn on the 12th Street. I mean, it didn't even stop for the stop sign. So we pulled him over. We got him pulled over on the 12th Street Viaduct, place he pulled over at. Well, we get him out of the car. My partner gets him out of the car. I'm standing to the back of the car, and I tell him to come towards me after Rick searched him, make sure he wasn't armed. I had him come back towards me, and I was going to walk him over to there was a median, but we were going to cross over the median and get him out of the street. And as soon as I got to the middle of my police car, a drunk driver hit the police car in the back of our car, smashed me into the bad guy's car, or the suspect's car, and it broke every bone in both my legs from the knees on down. I mean, not only broke them, shattered them. Compound fractures all over the place.
I don't, but there was a funny story
That
that
sounds
happened.
funny.
Yeah, hilarious so far.
But hold on.
Well,
What do you
I'm
got
laughing my ass off
for? What
right
do you
now.
got for us, Bob Hope? Let's go.
Timmy, go ahead and tell him.
Fucking guy.
Timmy, go ahead and tell him.
Well, both my legs are off to the side, and both my ankles are I'm looking at the bottom of my feet. I mean, they're just, my ankles were shattered, everything. So my partner, he's screaming. I mean, screaming into the radio. And I'm trying to get my legs back in line so the blood goes down my legs and all this. But Rick is screaming. I'm telling Rick, I'm leaning against the V in the police car that I made. And I'm saying, Rick, calm down. I can't understand you. I said, get me an ambulance. And so he finally calms down. And all of a sudden, the guy that we pulled over was still standing out in between the two cars. I mean, alongside the two cars. All of a sudden, he goes, "Yeah, me too, Rick. Get me an ambulance."
I need an ambulance too.
Yeah, you're gonna need one, buddy.
He falls down. Hey, get me one too, Rick.
No, but and then the diagnosis, obviously battling back from that, they get you to the hospital. And take us through some of the early diagnosis, what the doctors were telling you and your family.
Well, the first 3 days they told us they probably have to amputate him. And then, thank God, Dr. Cooper, who was a police department doctor, he comes in from, I don't know where he was. He comes in, looks at me, and goes, "No, get me this doctor, get me this doctor." And they start operating on me. And I guess I was in the hospital for maybe 6 months.
Oh,
Yeah, so
how many surgeries?
54
Total.
total.
So, but here the thing is, they told you that you'd never walk again.
No, they told me I'd be in the wheelchair for the rest of my life, even after if they do get him reconnected. They said I'll never walk again.
And then when you proved them wrong on that after 8 months, correct? 10 months?
A little over 8 months. Yeah.
So then you started walking, and then they told you.
Well, you won't believe how granted you take walking is.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to learn how to walk again.
with
It was weird.
right.
Do you
And then they
credit-
told you that you'd never work again.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
And then you battled through that, and then when you came back to work, so you didn't have all 54 of those surgeries right away.
No. Over time.
And then, but when you came back to work, you were determined. And just talk about how determined you were.
Well-
And then too, I think we got to go back to that. And you guys, and everybody that's listening to the show knows, we didn't even get into your family yet.
Right.
Your father's your father was a policeman. Your brother's a policeman. Your nephew's a policeman. And but did that passion of being a policeman, you just wanted to get back. I
Oh, I
remember you
love the
telling
job.
me
I
that.
I didn't get married till I was 40 because of that job.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Thought you were smart.
Right.
But I think just going back to Travis Brown and the shape he's in, Timmy, you were there. You were there. Your
Right.
family was there, and with the prospect of losing your legs when you're sitting you're like, they're going to take these things from me.
Right. I told my brother when he first got to the hospital, I said, "Don't even look at him. Tony, just get behind me. Don't look at him. They're talking about taking him off."
How old were you, Tim?
Let's see. It was at 87, so I don't know how.
Math.
20,
Math's a bitch.
27,
27 years. Did Backstoppers get involved?
No.
He wasn't dead, dude.
No, they help with other things.
No.
No.
Tunnel the Tower, maybe.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
But then you come back.
I'm in the wheelchair,
bad.
and what was bad about it, I couldn't stay at home by myself, so I had to live with my sister and her family. And so I was sitting in that wheelchair for like 6 months, and finally I said, "That's enough. I got to get back." So I called Dr. Cooper, and I said, "Doc," I said, I got to walk." He goes, "Okay." He goes, "But I don't think you're gonna, but we'll get you fitted for a walking cast," because I had cast on my legs still, needless to say. So we'll get you fitted for walking cast. And boy, like I said, man, you really take walking for granted.
Hey, Tim, can you explain who Doc Cooper is for listeners who don't know who he is?
He was the police department doctor, and he was head of surgery.
James Cooper?
James Cooper, right? And he's a head of he was a head of surgery at DePaul Hospital.
Okay.
Timmy, I had a question. You obviously walked and you came back, and I know you still have. How bad or how much? When you wake up, do you have pain every day?
Well, I used to really bad. That's why I had to retire, because finally I just couldn't get up. I mean, the walking was so bad that they had to fuse my ankles, and my ankles don't move at all. So,
I thought it was because you got assigned to Spies.
no, actually I was working under Diva at that time. But, boy, try to put a pair of pants on when your ankles don't go like that. Your toenails get stuck on them and stuff. It's a treat.
Well, and
Jeez.
when you came back, when did you come back to work? As for what year? So it happens in '87. Around what time did you come back to work?
Mid '88.
Okay. Damn.
It was quick.
Yeah.
Damn. And then you went from you went to narcotics at that point.
Well, I did a little bit more time in mobile, but I realized I can't run anymore.
So they put you in narcotics, huh?
So Chief Sheets asked me where I wanted to go, and I just figured if I'm buying dope, I'm stuck in a car.
Yeah.
I don't have to run.
Yeah.
And if we're kicking in the door, they're confined to a house, so I don't have to run. I said, put me in narcotics. He goes, okay.
You became a good investigator. And
Absolutely.
Good career.
And
Very
that's
good
that's where
narcotics
you and
guy.
I were partners for a while.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where you give me my nickname. What's my nickname?
Well, you know what? I just found out my daughter says, because she listens to that
Podcast?
She says, you know, he don't like that. I said, you don't? No. But we call him Icky because of his long neck. It looks like Ichabod Crane.
See, this is where it started.
You just look like a crane to me.
And he was relentless on me.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you hated it.
But Timmy was always
don't-
the guy
I
that
don't hate
when
it.
you worked around him, he was always up for some shenanigans.
Oh,
You know, he's the one that sprayed the Llewellyn with the.
JJ helped me in that one.
I did. I supplied the mace.
I don't want to say, but
You got and Timmy's a long time.
Hey, I can say, hey, on that little incident, we went outside at Hilltop, and he got a bucket of water, and he was gonna pay him to mace him. He maced the shit out of him, and then right when he went to the bucket of water, his legs weren't that bad because he kicked the bucket.
well, the first Mason was Michael O'Keefe. I maced,
God rest his soul. He just passed away.
right, just passed away. I maced him first, and it was out of that, what was it, bar down on Jefferson, the 3rd district, like B&B or something.
Okay, yeah.
So
It wasn't Schaefer's?
No.
Okay.
But we were down there, and Mo was complaining about money. I said, well, I'll give you $100. And that's when the pepper mace just came out. And I said, well, I'll give you $100 and let me mace you. He goes, okay.
Let me mace you.
So we go outside and we go across the street, and there's a chain link fence. Well, Mo, I want to mace Mo, and he closed his eyes and said, wait a minute, I'm paying you $100. You got to open your eyes. So he opens his eye and went, sheesh. Well, it gets better with Luan, but so I mace Mo, and he falls in the chain link fence. He's kneeling down, all his snot's coming out of his nose and everything. So the next day we go to work, and Ron Henderson just came down to narcotics. It was like only his second day. Well, Mo comes into work, and his eyes are like golf or baseball size red. And he goes, you son of a... He goes, I took a shower this morning, and apparently there was some more mace in my hair. I came down here.
He got remaced.
He goes, knocked me to my knees in the shower. So Sergeant Henderson comes walking in, and he looks at Mo, and he goes, oh my God, Mo, what happened to you? He goes, he maced me, and points to me. And Henderson looks at me and goes, what? I said, yeah, I maced him. So Mo goes, you know what? I'm going to get some more of your money somehow. He goes, I know. I put on my bulletproof vest and let you shoot me.
Oh, my God.
I said,
Oh no, I'm down here at this time. This is a true story now.
I'll give you $1,000. You let me do that. He goes, okay. So I run down to the credit union.
Absolutely, he went down to the credit union and got
Got
cash.
$1,000 out. I put it on his desk, and Mo goes, but what if you miss? I said, I'm going to be right in front of you. I'm not going to miss. So he starts thinking about it, and he goes, well, can I put it up against the telephone pole and shoot that first? I said, yeah. He goes, well, where are we going to do it? I said, we'll go up to the old Prudayo. So he goes, okay, well, let me think. No, what if you miss? So I looked at everybody in narcotics and said, hey, will you guys donate any money, Mo? They go, yeah, I'll give you $20. I'll give you $20. I said, well, you got more than that.
They got up to
$1,000 now.
2,500, dude.
So he chickened out, needless to say.
Good.
but-
No. Henderson got wind of it,
Right.
and he
right.
come out. Hey, motherfuckers!
Nobody shooting nobody.
Hey, nobody. Yeah.
Oh, the money was on the table, $2,500. So, off the subject, producer John I was going through the sergeant's promotion process, and it was time you had to stand up and give your presentation. What was that called? Whatever. The oral presentation for the sergeant's process. And producer John says to me, "I will give you $25,000 if you walk into that oral presentation dressed as Abe Lincoln and wearing an Abe Lincoln hat."
The full garb.
And he goes, "You have to have the full garb and everything." And he goes, "You don't say one thing about yourself. You just start talking about reciting the Gettysburg Address." And so I'm like, "Are you serious?"
He did
went
it and got promoted.
No.
It shows that he's honest.
It was fixed all along.
John went and wrote a check for $25,000. I went home and I took it to my wife. And I said, I was a broke ass policeman. I go, $25,000. What do you got to do? I got to dress as Abe Lincoln and recite the case. I go, I won't get promoted this time for sure. I said, but
This might hurt for a while.
it's going to hurt for a
You'll be a
while.
le-
And I'm
you'll
going to
be
be
a
on nights
legend,
for a
though.
while, but I'm going to get $25,000 and I will be a legend.
Yeah, you would.
And she goes, "Are you seriously considered?" I go, "I am more." I said, "Yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go shop for this costume." She goes, "Well, do it. And when you pick up a few suitcases and get your shit and get out, because you're not dressed as Abe Lincoln."
Well, you used to call me and say, "I'm sick to my stomach because I can't decide what to do."
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd chicken out.
Really?
Anyway, I got off the subject, but that reminded me of the check thing. So
Hey,
Mo,
just think
I
about
didn't have
how
the
your
money
life
anyway.
would have changed. Your life would have been totally different if you'd done it.
I don't
Who
know.
knows? Yeah.
Right.
You would never have been a major.
No.
I would have been chief.
He had a lot of hurdles along the way.
You might have-
He had a lot of hurdles along the way. That would have just been another one.
That's true. That's true. You'd have been a major or a mayor.
But I'll say this and with Timmy, is that I rode with Timmy for when I first went to narcotics, and I went down there as an intern, but Timmy fought for me to be down there, and I stayed down there for a long time because of Timmy. And his passion for the narcotic game was something, you love that shit, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
And we would work, we'd work wires, Ronald Jones would cut down that tree. And we had a lot of time. And Timmy was and he was like, when you row with him and you heard his story and you know his story, it's tough not to just shut the fuck up and be a
And listen.
policeman,
Yeah.
and just
No.
because he was like that. And then the other greatest thing about Timmy is that he bought a lake house down at the lake, and he was so nice to all. I mean, we've all been down there, I believe. Even everybody in here, and there was some fun. I remember there was an OSADEF conference down. There was an OSADEF conference down at the lake, and all kinds of U.S. attorneys went. And there was judges. And then Timmy's like, "Everybody come over to my house." Well, everybody came to his house. There was like 50. He's got a 2-bedroom home. There was like 50 people in there.
And then somebody had the bright idea to go steal the beer from
Talking to the mic.
Somebody had the bright idea to go steal the beer from the conference. So they went over there and took all the beer and brought it over to my house.
Hey, let's be honest though. You wanted him to stay in narcotics with you, not because of his ability to be a narcotics cop, but you knew he would go meet you anytime to have a beer at Hilltop. Or
Right.
So he was
Right.
a good wingman for that.
Come on now. Come on
You
now.
know, the only bad side of him is his ADD. Jesus, you can't sit on surveillance with the man.
No,
No.
With Sawyer?
No,
No.
there ain't no possible way.
Dude, we were in that warehouse for like a month.
Oh, yeah.
I was pacing
guys
the
drove
shit
it.
out of that place.
These guys built us a scaffold. And Tommy and I would crawl up the scaffold to look out the windows up there. And all of a sudden I look around, and Tommy's nowhere to be seen. He's got candy all over up there, but he's nowhere to see. He's walking around doing laps around the warehouse.
You did say after like 2 weeks, I would just take all my sprees and everything and just put the thing there. It was a vacant place, but the guy let us in. Then he's like, "Dude, clean that shit up." I had a whole bag full of just empty wrappers and Starburst.
That's when we cut that limb down.
Oh, dude. Then those two dudes were in the alley.
And now we get there, it's still dark outside, so nobody can see us doing this. I bring a chainsaw, and there's two black guys walking down the alley, and I start that chainsaw, and I didn't even know they were there, but all of a sudden I see 4 white things looking, and then boom, there they go running down the alley.
You told that story, Tommy, did you?
Oh, yeah. It was classic.
Yeah,
We
that's
had a
all.
lot of classic times together. That's why that was the start of my funness.
Yeah.
And you kind of got me into the whole group. And Timmy's been part of the. You guys have heard that we've been drinking on Thursdays for a long time, and that made our Fridays really hard because we were
Right.
in interdiction at the time. In interdiction, we usually started at 4:30.
Yeah,
Then you go to the FedEx and you go to UPS and you split up and go.
that's where
everywhere.
we work together.
Right.
Going to check packages.
But we can't talk about when you and I ride together.
No.
Because them stories, the funny ones,
Yeah, a lot of them you can't tell.
no, we can't tell.
Yeah, just admit you're all fucked up. That's good.
Timmy, thanks for sharing
All right.
a nasty story.
Appreciate it.
No,
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
the Lachenicht, the Lachenicht family has been covered now. We got no more Lachenichts to.
Yeah, you had TJ on
bring
last
the show.
week.
So you guys are lucky.
Hey, we saved the best for last, buddy.